Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and today we're in the home studio. We're on the Skypes, returning guests, back by popular demand. One of our most popular guests of the year, actually.
Oh, wow.
She had her first ever podcast appearance, and she's in the top numbers here, so I don't know whether it was just her playing it over and over to herself or, getting all her family and friends to listen. But live from Minnesota, Jess Schroeder, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, no problem. Happy to have you back. I know we spoke about when you were on the first time, like, we've got to get you back. And you were keen, and hey, the numbers don't lie. People were pretty happy to have you.
Well, I can tell you why that is, Joshua.
Let's hear it. Are you
it's the friends
the numbers?
And family, and like very casual acquaintances. Just anyone I see with a phone in their hand. Hey, you got a podcast catcher on that? Here, I was on a podcast. Let me download it really quick for you. It'll be super quick. Just give me your phone.
Right. All right. Well, hey, look,
I think 9 times out of 10 they listen too. So
cool.
That's good.
Right. So is this the plan second time around? Is to do it again? It's like, hey, you remember that podcast I was in you really liked, or
Oh yeah, I've already been laying the groundwork this last couple of days.
Oh, good. I'm lucky I didn't tell you about this. Like, I organised this weeks and weeks in advance, so there'd be like even more people just waiting. You would have had a whole Facebook event, listening party. It would have been like when Kanye drops an album. You would have had your listening parties ready, and yeah.
Yeah, this time I'm going to try and plug download it and also subscribe. What is it that they always say? Rate, subscribe,
share, rate,
and review.
Subscribe. Yep, review.
You don't have to do all 3. Just pick one. Listener's choice.
No, do all 3 if you're there. Come on. Just do it. Yep, So you were very popular. I'll put that down. Maybe there was a few that you got from friends and stuff, but the numbers were good just in general. The feedback was very good. So, got to get you back on. Got to get you, as we're getting so close to Rise of Skywalker now. Like, where's your hype level at the moment?
Hype level is high. It's going to be high. I'm waiting for a trailer to drop. I was kind of hoping that one would drop right today before we record. I actually shouted down the hallway at work today to 2 of my employees. I shouted, "Hey, what if a new trailer for The Rise of Skywalker dropped today?" And I got to be the first person to talk about it on a podcast. And they just give me these very bewildered looks like, okay, Jess.
Jess is on it again.
Just
keep your head down. I'm sure just download her podcast tomorrow and smile, and everything will be okay. Well, you messaged me. I woke up this morning and there was a message from you because we were recording today and going, "Hey, I think this trailer is going to come down soon." So nothing yet. I'm just quickly, now you got me thinking about it. I'm like, I better just quickly jump on Twitter and just see if there's anything here, but I'm not seeing anything. So Pablo Hidalgo was dropping some sweet hints, wasn't he? He was being typical cryptic Pablo Hidalgo, wasn't he?
Yes, I think he was calling it Space Movie 9. Media buzz or something starts this week, so...
Because the whole thing...
We're going to get something.
Yeah, well, the whole thing was, of course it'll happen as soon as this episode goes out. Obviously, it'll come out because, as soon as we finish recording, So, we might have to... We don't usually make sort of on-air plans and stuff, but basically, if we finish this episode up and in 2 hours' time that trailer drops, I'm probably going to have to send you a message and say, hey, you're going to have to get out of bed and... you're going to have to do another podcast, and then we'll do another one.
I would do it. I would totally do it. So I'm telling you now, if it happens, I'm game.
All right. We'll, the listeners will know if this drops just by itself or we do a double header. All of a sudden, the episode is doubly long. So normally, all the talk is sort of going, it'll drop with Monday Night Football. So Monday Night Football is like the big football thing in America, isn't it? That's like the big night.
Yeah. Monday and Sunday.
Yeah, they tried to do Monday Night Football here in Australia, and it just didn't take. People didn't like it here. It just it didn't jive. They try Thursday night, but that's our local
American football or
no, like Australian rules football. Yeah, they tried to bring it out. They tried to have it on a Monday, and no, not soccer. Australian rules football, like different again. But it's the one where they don't wear pads and they don't have sleeves and things. I'll send you a link. You can to verse yourself up with it. But
yes, please do.
We just had our grand final on Sunday, which is like our Super Bowl. So we had our league Super Bowl on Saturday. That's just passed and things. So there was no Star Wars trailer attached to that, unfortunately.
Bummer.
Bummer. What a bummer. But we've had some massive... There's been news, like, you know, while we're waiting for the movies and stuff, there's been news kind of coming out everywhere, hasn't there? Like, I guess the biggest one is... well, is it the biggest one? I don't know. Kevin Feige doing Star Wars. Now, you're a Marvel girl.
Is he producing or directing? I am a Marvel girl.
So how do you feel
he's
about
producing,
that?
right?
I think so.
I'm excited.
Has he ever directed anything? Ever?
I don't know. No, you're right. Yes.
I don't know.
I don't think so. But now you're putting me on the spot.
I'm gonna look him up right now while we do this. But no, he's a producer man, isn't he? He's let's look at the old IMDb. I did the Google, and one of the things is, what does Kevin Feige do? It's like, oh, very true. Producer.
Yeah, I was excited to see that. I mean, I know I saw some people express concerns about how different the franchises are, and they don't want Star Wars to take on like a Marvel feel. And I get that, but I'm not worried about that. And that's because I think Kathleen Kennedy has proven herself at this point that if someone's not playing ball, I mean, maybe Kevin Feige is a little too big of a name for her to fire or slap on the wrist. But
this is the first guy who's actually sort of taking a step down to do Star Wars, isn't he? Like, is this the only person in the world who's kind of like, oh, I'll just slum it. I'll slum it and I'll go to Star Wars. I'll actually, go down a little bit as far as my profile of things to do. Like, it's pretty much the only thing you can do that's sort of, currently above Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good observation. It is. But yeah, I guess I just trust the powers that be at Lucasfilm that they would, wouldn't let that happen. And I think Kevin probably has enough. I think he's a fan, so I think that he probably has enough wherewithal to know the difference and keep them separate.
Oh, for sure.
And probably doing an amazing job.
But he does, like Marvel movies have a tone and a certain style to them. And, he sort of establishes that with, Iron Man, and then they kind of roll on, and that's sort of the tone that runs through to a point. But that just means that he can look at a tone and copy that tone. So Star Wars has a tone. Surely he just goes, all right, I understand what the fundamentals of Star Wars are. I'll just apply them to that. But, so he's not a director. I'm not seeing any directing credits here. I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing a lot of producing stuff. I'm seeing some miscellaneous crew. I'm seeing some production matter. I think he's obviously got some ideas, and I don't know, like a standalone, I suppose. Is that or trilogy? What do you reckon?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe they would use him for a standalone, because the standalone, well, with Rogue One did amazing, but we know there's a Rian Johnson trilogy coming out, and are the Game of Thrones guys? They have a trilogy, right? Or is it?
I think.
Do we not know yet?
Originally, they sort of said yeah, but now the language has kind of changed a bit. They're a bit like, first it was like, yeah, we're making these movies, and it's like, oh, we're going to write an outline, and then we're going to produce, and. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're kind of just keeping their heads down a little bit after some people didn't like how Game of Thrones ended. When they got signed on, they were like King Dicks, because Game of Thrones was where it was at, and then I thought Game of Thrones ended fine, but some people didn't jive with it, so I think they're just sort of taking it easy. But yeah.
Well, so maybe after Solo, I guess what I'm getting at is he would probably do great with a standalone, and it would be successful. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. So he'd be a safe bet for a standalone to breathe new life back into that.
Like the standalones.
What they're trying to do with those. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, so many of these sort of like standalone ideas now are kind of going to Disney Plus anyway, like obviously Kenobi has pivoted to Disney Plus, as we sort of thought that was going to be a movie originally, and we got the director for that, which is I've lost her name now.
Deborah Chow.
Deborah Chow.
Yep.
So she was one of the directors on Mandalorian, so obviously they rate her work pretty highly if they're going, hey, have a crack, just run the whole thing. So I think she's doing the whole thing, or is she the showrunner? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the impression I got. I looked at her resume on IMDb, and it was very impressive, but it was interesting because it was a lot of onesie twos, like one episode, like no more than 2 episodes, but on really impressive shows. So if she's doing the whole series, I think that'll be new territory for her. So that'll be interesting to see what she does with that.
I think that's quite cool that if it is that she actually does the whole thing from start to finish as well. Like it's a bit more of a completed vision, I suppose. Look, I think there was rumors at the time that Ewan McGregor was going to direct some stuff in it. So whether that's not the case, well, maybe that's not the case, and he's just because I mean, in that press release, it was just like, oh, he's an executive producer, but it didn't say anything about him directing anything. So she'll be out there in the desert or wherever they do it and running things. And no, it's cool. It's cool to have another new director, really. And hey, look, if it's great, keep her in. Give us some more stuff. Give us some movies.
Yeah, I think that news came out right after. So we got the Kevin Feige news, and I tweeted something about how I was excited about it, but I'd like to see them take more risks, see more women and diversity, which there is a lot of in the Mandalorian, it looks like, for directing wise. But I think just take more risks, give the little guys a chance. And then, like, the very next day they announced that. I'm like, oh, it's almost like they were listening to me.
Well, they've been saying, I mean, every time Kathy Kennedy gets sort of quizzed about this, she's always just like, we know we're doing some stuff is coming, we're going to do it. We acknowledge that this is the case. I mean, obviously, you've still got Benioff and Weiss and Rian Johnson and all these people, you sort of traditionally the white dudes who've always kind of done it, doing those things. But, at least Mandalorian, they've obviously broken through and put some diversity in, and now with Obi-Wan as well. And then we'll have to see. We've got Cassian Andor coming up, so that's another good chance to do that. And then I guess the big crossover will be the movie. So who knows what Kevin Feige's got up his sleeve. He's already sort of said he's got an actor in mind for something, but, I mean...
Oh, yeah, Brie Larson, maybe?
Well, it doesn't... I mean, everybody just goes instantly assumes it has to be a Marvel actor, but it could just be anybody, It could just be... I don't know. I'm just trying to think.
Did you see Chris Evans tweeted? I think someone was it. It was someone tweeted something like, "Which Kevin Feige or Marvel actor do you want to see in a Star Wars movie?" And Chris Evans was like, "Me."
Yeah, I think there'll be a few people sending like fruit baskets to his house and stuff. Going, "Hey, I'd like to do a Star Wars." Have you got a preference? If you have any Marvel actor, who would you like to see?
That's a good question. Maybe Chris Pratt. He'd be fun.
Yeah.
But I just want to, if they're going to put in a big actor, I would like it to them to stick to the kind of tradition of just a cameo. I really like what they've done with finding new talent and discovering people, and I think that they should stick with that.
Yeah, it can be a little distracting if you get really big. Like I still find sort of Woody Harrelson or Benicio del Toro slightly distracting in Star Wars because you're just like, oh, yeah, there's Woody Harrelson, there's Benicio del Toro. For some reason, it's like, oh, that's a little bit. I know Harrison Ford is a bigger star than anybody, but you're like, well, he was already Han Solo, so I don't get distracted that that's Harrison Ford. But if you do get these big, I mean, even Laura Dern a little bit, you kind of go, well, that's Laura Dern, that's Jurassic Park's Laura Dern. But I don't think... Who's the biggest new name that's coming into Rise of Skywalker? I guess they're sort of saying Kerry Russell. She's not exactly massive, but everyone knows who Felicity is.
Oh, yeah. Do you mean the biggest known actor?
Well, yeah, I just mean sort of the people that they've added into it, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, they've kind of talked about Matt
I'm trying
Smith,
to blink.
But,
Oh, yeah, Matt Smith. Yeah, that was the other one.
But again, that's never really been confirmed.
It hasn't, yeah, and then we haven't heard anything about him in a long time. So
no, well, he is the Doctor. He's probably busy doing all sorts of things,
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm pretty excited. I've got my hype level is definitely coming up for Rise of Skywalker. Thinking about screenings and all that kind of stuff and plans and how it's gonna lay out. And
yep.
I'm actually gonna be finishing up work I think, for the year on premiere night, so the midnight. So I'm taking 3 months off at the start of next year to look after my kids. So I'm going to be on daddy leave, which will be exciting. So that's going to finish my my work for about over 3 months is going to end on the night of the Rise of Skywalker. I'm basically going to go, that's it, work. I'm done. Roll into Christmas break, into summer, and have some time off. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
That's amazing.
That I get to just go, all right, work is done.
That's
now
the dream. That's the dream.
Yeah, so it's going to be really good because my partner and I both work for the same organization. We didn't meet there or anything. It's just a coincidence we both ended up there. But she took her parental leave, obviously, when Sloane was born, and she's been off for a year. But I actually qualify for the same leave, so I can take the leave as well. And so I'm just
must be nice.
Yeah,
to be in a country where they care about those things.
Yeah, so I get to take parental leave. So I'll be the primary caregiver. So I'll be finishing off around Christmas time. So Rise of Skywalker will be doubly no more work, and Star Wars to boot. So
what a great way to celebrate.
Yeah, I hope so. And then with a bit of luck, I won't have work the next day, so I'll just be able to go see it again. Hopefully, that's the plan.
Yeah, I sort of reached out to my normal crew and said, how many tickets do you need? Because they're going to go on sale soon, and I got to be Johnny on the spot.
You're the organizer? You're the events coordinator?
I'm the events coordinator. I've always got the tickets. I think 1 year, was it The Last Jedi, I had like plan A through F, like, okay, if this one sells out, then we'll look at this one. If that one sells out, then we'll go here. If that one sells out, we'll go to this theater. And I had them all ready to go. And then it was no problem at all doing plan A. So I'm not too worried, but you never know. You got to be ready.
Know. Yeah. You got to be ready to pull that trigger when it happens, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing also, is that usually the trailer and the tickets drop at the same time. So it's good to have a couple of days to know this is going to happen, because it's like, hey, if they go, hey, tickets on sale now, and you've got to I've got to get on, I've got to have my plan A through F ready.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want this hey, it's out now, tickets are on sale. Like, what? I've got to call 10 people now and figure out what we're doing. So
yeah.
Now I've got to ask you a question here. I've been thinking about this. Now, you've got 2 little boys. I
do.
2 kids. Are you familiar with the term, you get what you get and you don't get upset?
Oh, we say you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a colloquialism right there. Now, can you that the way you say it or the way that we say it here? Do you have a sneaking suspicion where I'm going with this? The term "you get what you get" and you don't get upset.
Just how Star Wars fans will react to the Rise of Skywalker.
Yes. So, I don't know if anybody owns the term "you get what you get" and you don't get upset, but I am considering a Star Wars themed T-shirt with written "you get what you get and you don't get upset" written on it.
That would be brilliant.
So obviously, the closer we get to this, the closer we get to Rise of Skywalker. I mean, you're a social media user as well. You sort of dip in and dip out as I do. It seems like the anticipation and the expectation are getting to sort of fever pitch, and there's a lot of sort of this has got to go. If this doesn't go a certain way, oh man, things are going to blow.
Yeah, well, I think I see that most from the Raylos, but they seem to, from what I've seen, they seem pretty level-headed and chill about it. And I'm sure there's others that are not. But from what I've seen, they're like, okay, well, this is what we want, but if we don't get it, we'll be fine. So
they'll get what they get, and they won't throw a fit.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen any. I think that's why I like the Raylos so much, because I haven't encountered the ones that are, and I'm sure they're out there as they are in most groups. I haven't encountered any that are just if this doesn't happen, I'm burning it to the ground and I'm done.
Yeah, look, I feel all the sort of the Raylos, the Bendemptioners, the the casual fans, the people who want this, or people where everybody has their skin in the game, I suppose. Like obviously the Reylos are probably the most prominent because it's also probably the easiest to categorize and go, oh, Reylos, they want this thing, like it's easy, whereas some people are like, well, I want more of this character, or I want less of this character, or I want better representation of this, or better representation of that, or less of this, or more of this, and everybody's kind of got their thing, and in every case, there's probably 90% of people who are chill, and then there's 10% of people who aren't so chill. Have you got a particular skin in the game? Have you got a particular thing where you get what you get and you will get upset, or you seem pretty chill to me, Jess. The interactions we've had, I can't imagine you're going to get the matches out and burn the house down.
No, I can't think of anything that would, just because I guess I trust JJ and Catherine, and I believe just from I guess historically, since Disney bought Lucasfilm, like I've loved everything they've done, and I've agreed with most of their choices. And call me a shill, but like I do like I've loved it all. Like give me all of it. But so I can't think of anything that I think that they would, a direction they would go that would make me. Yeah, I mean, maybe Rey going the dark side, but I really don't think that's going to happen.
So what do you think of that?
Okay, go.
That happens. If that happens, what'll happen there?
Well, so I think I would just be sad, because I think Rey as a character has inspired this new generation of fans, and especially female fans. And I mean, you can see it from all like the little girls you see dressed up as Rey at Galaxy's Edge or at Celebration, and to take that character that has inspired this new generation and like given like empowered women and girls to say, I like Star Wars too, and this is for me too, and then to take that character and have her turn to the dark side at the end, at the 11th hour, like that makes zero sense to me. And I don't think it's going to happen, but if it did happen by some strange thing, that would be devastating to me.
Even if she kind of got pulled back, even if it still wouldn't be enough.
Like if she went to the dark side and then they still had time to bring her back.
Yeah, like maybe she goes to the dark side in the first third of the movie. Like I have a theory that the like everything that we've seen so far, footage-wise, is sort of the first third of the film. Like even Kylo and Rey fighting is actually early on in the film, and then sort of something happens there that kind of flips the movie. Like it's sort of the Avengers Endgame kind of thing, where they kill Thanos in the first 20 minutes of the movie, spoilers, and then the movie just kind of pivots and it's like, oh, actually it's going somewhere you didn't actually think. Like I think they're going to kind of pull one of those. So
okay,
I don't know.
Well, if that happened, as long as at the end she had come back, then it would be okay. But like they can't end the movie that way. It just that would feel really tone deaf to me.
No,
and I don't think they will. But
it's Star Wars. I mean, ultimately, good has to win, and she's the hero. Like ultimately, the hero has to win.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself is like it's gonna have a happy ending, right? It has to. It's a family movie. It's for kids. It's the end of the entire Skywalker saga. Like it will have a happy ending, but
you go
right. I mean, right?
Right.
Tell me, like, give me positive reinforcement here, right?
You better get those matches ready just in case.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like yub nub and fireworks, but
what?
I mean, I think it'll be more like introspective happy ending, and someone's going to die. Let's be honest. Like someone's probably going to die, whether that's Kylo Ren, which I could see that happening. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know who else besides him.
Kylo's your guy. You like a bit of Kylo.
I do.
Do you?
I like a bad boy.
Like the bad boys. Yeah, the bad boys. People love the bad boys. Where are you sitting on? Where are you sitting on the Bendemption? Do you like? Well, if you like the bad boy, does he need to eat it as a bad guy, or can he realize the error of his ways and then eat it, or does he realize the error of his ways and walk off into the sunset? I mean, I would love it if he saw the error of his ways and then
walked like did the whole arms around the shoulder Leia Luke Han thing, like when they're leaving the hangar bay with his new buddies. But let's be honest, that's not realistic.
That'd be an interesting shot, wouldn't it? Where they're all sort of walking out and they're all like, "We did it." He's just like,
Yep.
"We did it." Like, well, I guess technically you can come and party, but don't talk to too many people. That would be an awkward. That would be an awkward Ewok party if Kylo Ren did turn up. Like, even if he was. Well,
here's the thing. Like, how many people have seen him without the mask? They could be like, okay, well, here's the deal. You're a good guy now. No one's really seen you without the mask off. A select few will recognize you. So you just like put on some light colored clothes. Maybe we'll trim up the hair, and you can just sort of blend in. Don't talk to anyone. Like, don't. We'll figure out a backstory for you.
Is that Ben Solo over there? Is that Ben Solo with a margarita over there? What's he doing? No one's seen him for years. Did he go off to camp, or did he go to? What was his story? Did he maybe he went off to boarding school, or no one saw him since the Jedi Temple burnt down. It's suspicious, but okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, he looks good. He looks
He's surprisingly the same height as Kylo Ren, but anyway, awkward smiles.
But I think more realistically, or I guess what I would be satisfied to see would be him. I do want Ben Demption. I think I've come to terms with the fact that Ben Demption will probably come with him dying in some heroic way, and I would be okay with that. I think having the heartstrings tugged a little bit, it's never a bad thing.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't think he can just go down evil. I know there's sort of a lot of people talking about Ben Demption going, he didn't actually do that many bad things. Like, he killed his dad, but he wasn't on Starkiller Base when he blew up all those people. But he's been in charge of the First Order. Like, he's the dude. Like, if he's been in charge of the worst blokes in the galaxy for a year now, he's probably done some pretty bad stuff still. Unless he's completely they turn it around and actually he goes, now I'm in charge and we're all about puppies and we're all about having a good time and, things are okay. But I don't know. I mean, all the toys and stuff that have leaked have all got like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on them as well. So it's not like he hasn't given up the title.
Can we talk about what a mouthful that is?
Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Leader Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
I feel like some underlings got to come in and say, "Listen, we've done the opinion panel, and it's just too many syllables. It's too much. You either gotta be Supreme Leader Kylo or Supreme Leader Ren. You gotta pick one. People are having a hard time.
Yeah,
it's taking up too much time to say your full name. Yep, you need a nickname. Let's figure it out.
You could just get some name tags. Maybe you can't really Supreme Leader Kylo Supreme Sky. No, it doesn't really abbreviate to anything, does it either? Like he could just use Kylo.
Yeah, I mean we've had the Emperor, we've had Vader, we've had Snoke, and now we have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, the first of his name.
Yeah.
First order of business. I mean, he's pretty sensitive about things at the best of times. Maybe it's best not to sort of question that kind of stuff, but yeah, you never know. I don't know. So Force Friday, are you a Force Friday? Are you going to get some stuff? Anything jumping out at you, or are you kind of like, we'll see. It'll be there.
I'm not really a huge collector, but I did peruse what's coming out, and there's so many cool things like all the 6-inch. I don't have a 6-inch Black Series. I don't own any of them, but all the new ones looks amazing. Especially the second Sister Inquisitor. Her cape looks so sick. I love it. And I love her pop too, like her Funko Pop. The way the cape looks like the wind's blowing in it. It's just awesome.
Are you going to get Jedi Fallen Order? Have you get the old Star Wars games out? Do you do the Star Wars games?
So my deal is I used to be really big into video games, and I kind of stopped when I had kids because I have an addictive personality. And when I start playing a video game, it's just I get sucked. It just turned into one of those people who can't be pulled away. I think
your husband's like, Jess, it's 3 a.m. You're still playing Super Star Wars. Come on.
When I was in college, I used my pregame all my friends would be like, okay, we're gonna go out to the bars. I'd be like, sweet. I'm just gonna like have a couple beers while I play my video game, and I'll just meet you there. Like I couldn't. So I sort of stopped once I had kids, just so I didn't become a terrible parent.
That's the time to do it, you know, especially when they're really young and you can't leave the house.
Yeah, no, you're right. I blew it. I just spent all that time reading books. I should have been playing video games. But no, I mean, I'm intrigued. I think I might.
Have you got an Xbox or a PlayStation
Maybe.
in the house
Yeah.
or something?
We have a PlayStation. Yeah.
Nice. Do it. Get on board.
So maybe
it's time to bust out the skills.
Maybe that'll be my reintroduction to video games.
So when we catch up with you again, you know, in the next podcast in a few months, or whenever you come on next time, you're like, yeah, so I got divorced. I was playing video games too much. I ignored my kids. Everybody moved out of the house. I didn't even notice.
I'll look like Thor, circa like when they find him. I'll be that guy, that girl.
You'll be Lebowski, Jess Lebowski.
Yeah,
Jess
big Lebowski Thor. Yep. What about you for the toys? What are you looking to get?
Yeah, look, I don't usually play full price for toys. I'm usually more of a see if I can get them on clearance kind of guy. But yeah, look, I'll probably dip in. I'm looking at the Mandalorian one. I'm also looking at the Rey with Dio. I really quite like that. Yeah, I don't know. That's sort of the two that I'm finding the most interesting. I'm not sure. I'll just have to see. I have to see what we get. It's just such a Australia. We're just not great for toys, so we just have to see what leaks out. What leaks out? What's available, how much it is, all that kind of thing as well. So we'll see. I actually I bought a Forces of Destiny Luke Skywalker the other day on clearance.
I saw that. I never saw that over here. I never saw that anywhere.
No, I've never seen it anywhere. I've never seen it anywhere. The Leias and the Reys made it over, and I got a Rey the other day for my youngest daughter just to have because I got it cheap. And I've never seen the Luke anywhere. And then all of a sudden it was on this site for sort of 60% off, and I'm just going, all right, well, got to get that.
Yeah.
So, and then I put that out, and then poor old Chris Fresh from Geek Dudes, who can't help himself, he got one as well, and yeah, it was too good to pass up, really. So I might even keep it for myself. We'll see. Olive, my 4-year-old, she doesn't really like Yoda, so she might not want to play with it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he had some heavy lip gloss on, or maybe some sort of like a tinted chapstick.
Well,
he kind of looked like his lips were a little pink. That's fine, but I was like, does it come with?
Gotta take care of it.
Does it come with like a little? Yeah.
Just a little adjustment. Well, a Black Series leaked the other day of Luke in his medal ceremony. He's got the yellow jacket kind of thing. And they showed that, and it looked like he had absolute panda eyes. Like he just had this like black, like dark.
Oh yeah. Okay,
eyeliner.
So that's what. Yeah, I saw people tweeting that, and someone had tweeted that he looked like. What's that guy's name from Stranger Things? The older brother who's a huge a-hole.
Oh, emo.
But then he turned out to be. He turned out to be a good guy in the end. I can't think of his name. Bobby or whatever. It looked exactly like him. Did you watch Stranger Things?
Yeah. I know the guy you're talking about, like the bad boy with the mullet.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looked like him.
He's so he's Australian, that guy.
Oh, really?
My cousin Angus, who's an actor who I've had on the show before, he went to acting school with him, WAPA, which is one of the big acting things here in Australia, and he was a year above him. And he said that he nearly got to be young Han Solo. He got down to the last 3 young Han Solos.
Really?
So we could have had the bad boy from Stranger Things as Han Solo, but and my cousin also auditioned for it as well, but obviously didn't get it. So he's desperately hoping that they shoot some Star Wars here in Australia and he can have a crack at it. So I think the rumor is that Obi-Wan is going to be shot in Australia. So because now Disney own Fox Studios because they own Fox, so they're going to start utilizing that, and Star Wars can come back to Australia. So
maybe you can go be an extra.
Oh, that'd be nice. I'd have to, that would, the irony being they're saying, hey, we're going to we're going to shoot Obi-Wan in Australia in the start of 2020. And I can go, all right, I know I took this time off to look after my children, but I'm actually going to have to just go up to Sydney and be an extra in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. So,
Or they could be Jawas and you could all go together.
oh, that's cool. Oh, that'd be a good excuse. I could just take my kids up and stick them in Jawa costumes. That'd be good. I'd just be the awkwardly tall Jawa that's way bigger than everybody else. I wouldn't even know where you'd start with something like that. How you'd even, I don't know. You have to just know people who know people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an ambition for you to get on a Star Wars set, be an extra?
Oh, well, I haven't even thought of it because it seems so
like now it is.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, I don't even know how that kind of works. So I have a friend of mine in England who's been involved in some of the Star Wars stuff there, but of course it all happened after I left the country because that's just the way it goes. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be fun, but yeah. Have you ever wore like a stormtrooper helmet or anything? Have you ever put one on your head before?
No, but I've heard they're very uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, I put Eric Struther's one on at Celebration, and I don't know how anybody can walk around in that. Like it is severely uncomfortable, and you can't see anything. So I don't know how all those like 501st dudes who walk around all day in their gear go. It's just yeah.
I guess that's why they walk in don't they normally walk in formation? They just stare at the back of the person in front of them.
The guy in front of you, yeah, it's probably true, just so they don't bump into anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you go if you're an extra as a stormtrooper standing around for 8 hours a day in this stormtrooper outfit. I think it'd be a bit awkward, but yeah, sacrifices. I'm sure I could will myself to do it to be in a Star Wars.
Yeah. Sacrifices need to be made.
Sacrifices need to be made. Now, exactly. Now, last time we spoke was post glow of Celebration. We'd all just gotten home from Celebration. We were living the glow, and you were sort of saying, "Oh, I'd like to do it next year. I don't know. We'll see what happens." And I just said, "Look, just get your tickets. Worry about it later on." Now, I believe you got your tickets, didn't you? I think you took my advice.
I did, Joshua, and I almost took your advice too far because I believe I either said it somewhere or I know I heard you say it that, oh, tickets won't sell out. Like maybe I'll wait a couple days. So I had that in my head the day of because I was in the middle of the workday. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just wait till after work to do it. I don't know what's going to be going on. But then thankfully, Josh, I didn't take your advice or didn't listen to you about just waiting. It'll be fine. I swear you said that on a podcast. You said I didn't sell it for like a week last time. So yeah, it'll be fine. Like if you have to wait.
So I gave good advice and bad advice.
I'm going to have to go in the archives and find it just to prove
Spite
myself correct. But middle of the workday, I jumped on like the minute they went on sale and then was in the virtual queue for almost an hour, like having a panic attack. Luckily, I had my intern in the office with me, like talking me down to like distract me. Like, why is this taking so long? This can't be right. That something's wrong. And then I pulled up Twitter, so I had all the screens and like Twitter and seeing what people are saying. And then I think finally, once I got my 4-day pass, not like 10 minutes later, everyone was tweeting that they were sold out. Everything selling out. I'm like, oh my God, what if I had waited? Well, I'm sure I could have gotten them somehow, but it's just feel better having them in hand as soon as possible, right?
So did you just get the one set? Did your friend that you went with last time, did you get one for them too? Or you going, I got lots of Star Wars friends now. I don't need to take it. I don't need to bring anybody with me.
Yeah, I just got the one set, but then, so I was planning on going by myself. And then I think a day or two later, I was talking to my husband about it and like talking about, yeah, I'll probably go to Disneyland by myself, which will be weird, like going without kids. And then all of a sudden he was like, well, maybe I'll come with you. Like I could just come and like find something to do during the day and hang out with you at night. And I was like, well, if you come, and then I got all excited. I'm like, really? Like you would come with? And like, well, if you come, you have to come to Celebration at least one day. Like you can't just come with me and not. So I pulled up the tickets, and I think there was only at that time, Friday and Sunday were the only days left, single tickets. So I got a Friday single day ticket. I figured that would be more exciting than Sunday. So if he does come, he'll come with me on Friday, and if not, I have a single Friday pass to
All
sell. But
right. Well, he's a big
yeah,
dude too. I've seen photos of him. He could do some sweet Star Wars cosplay. He could do like a
oh yeah,
Chewbacca or a Death Trooper or someone who's quite tall or Snoke. Snoke's tall. He could.
yeah.
He's like, hey, look, I'm already coming and humoring your silly Star Wars stuff. You're not going to make me dress up as well.
Or a bearded Kylo Ren.
Oh yeah. There you go. Well, maybe at the end of 9, Kylo gets exiled onto an island and he grows a big bushy beard,
There you
and
go.
then
He'll be
your
set.
husband he'll be right on brand, right for it.
Yep.
Oh, that's exciting.
Hmm.
Cool. So hopefully we'll get to hang out and get to meet him and stuff, so we can
Yeah.
you know get some first hand experience what it's like to live with a one big Star Wars fan in the family.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be
And just leave the
exciting.
boys
He was.
behind.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad because my 7-year-old kept like asking to go,
Oh
and
yeah.
which was like really like tugging at my heartstrings. Like, oh, like it would be like really fun for him to be able to experience that, and the fact that he even wants to go is like makes me so happy. But I just had to be selfish and be like, you know what, 7's young. Well, wait, yeah, he'd be 7. I won't be able to do anything fun at night. Like, I'm just gonna make him wait a couple years.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, I want to go out and drink beer with my internet friends. I can't be,
Yeah,
sitting in the hotel room looking after you.
exactly.
And you're going to be at Star Wars Celebration, or you'll be exhausted. So you'll probably crash out. Yeah, we talked about doing Disneyland and Kat bringing the girls over and things, but they're just too little. It's just not worth the cost to fly a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old to Disneyland that they probably won't even remember. And,
Exactly. Yeah.
and could
Yeah.
potentially melt down and ruin the whole thing anyway.
Hmm.
There's always that. There's always that thing. I think my partner Kat would be a similar boat to your husband. She'd probably go, well, I would probably be interested to go for a day just to see what all the fuss is about, but I don't need to do 4 days. Thanks very much. So she'll sit it out, I think. So, well, that's exciting. So you're locked in then, one way or the other.
I am, and
Anaheim
I
2020.
have an Airbnb and a hotel room. So
Oh wow.
because the hotel room you can cancel if it
Well, you can do
without
both, I
any
think.
charge.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
Airbnb,
Airbnb up to a month before, I think you can cancel without charge.
yeah,
Well,
I think mine said I would lose my deposit. Like I already had to pay half.
oh,
And so if I cancel, I just lose that. But with all that chatter about Airbnbs in Anaheim, they're cracking down on them. I just figured I'd have a backup plan.
no,
Just
they
in
say
case.
that about.
Not
They
to
say that
scare
about
you. I don't want to
everything.
scare you.
No, they say that about every
Yeah.
city, and it never happens. So we're not
Okay, well,
particularly
good.
fussed. We've got our house all sorted. Are you
Mhm.
Yeah, so we've got our place sorted, which is right near Disneyland too, which is good. So we should be able to walk to the convention center, which would be nice.
Yeah,
Depending how
Catherine
hot it
sent me
is.
a link to your place. It looks awesome, like a Disney
I
themed
just-
house.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's got like the Frozen room and the
Mhm.
Cars room and the Disney Princesses room. So that's cool. That'll be
Mhm.
that'll be good fun. I think we've just crossed over the threshold where you can get flights now. So we'll start
Mhm.
thinking about flights. But I'm still just not sure how long I'm going to go for yet. So I don't want to book a flight
Yeah.
yet and go, oh, actually, I'd like to stay for an extra week and do some other stuff. So we'll see. It's
Mhm.
when you're coming all the way from Melbourne, you got to really, make sure you make the most of that time. It's not just like skipping over from Minnesota, which I suppose is
Yeah.
still you still got to fly though, don't you? So
Yeah. It won't be bad though.
you'll be able to handle it. Well, it's going to be a weird. I don't know. Like we'll be living in this post Rise of Skywalker world, won't we? So it'll be this big thing's kind of finished, but then this whole and also like first season of Mandalorian as well. Like are you signed sealed for Disney Plus? Is it a no brainer for your household? Did it take some convincing?
I am. I already blew it and didn't do the whole like that 3-year plan that the people were talking about. So over here you
Oh,
could sign up if you like signed up for what did you have to sign up for? Some sort of like Disney something or other for free. Then you could opt in to do 3 years and save a ton of money. And I think I was looking at it the very next, so it must have been like September 1st, and that was like the deadline. So I'd missed it by a day.
Ugh.
But we are able to sign up now. So I was able to sign up for a year. So I should be good to go. So I was not joking, but talking about taking the 12th off, my husband was laughing at me. But I mean, now that we know the Mandalorian is just going to be one episode at a time, which I do like that format. But like initially, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to binge them, take the day off, like binge the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
no one can spoil me. You can't touch me. I'll be good.
I'm untouchable. You can't get me.
Yep.
You can't bring me down. You can't bring me down. Yeah.
So now I don't know if it'll be. Maybe I'll just. I wish we knew what time it goes live, but maybe I'll just wake up super early and have an extra pot of coffee that day.
We're a week behind for some reason. Australia, we get it the Disney Plus the week after America. I think it's just because there are previous deals with Disney content here, so they have to expire before we can roll into it. So I think we'll get it. We'll get the first 2 episodes on the day it launches. Okay. I mean, depending what day, I guess, if it's it might just be the first episode's there waiting, and then if you wait in a few more hours, it'll click over to the next week, and then you'll get the next 2. But we're doing a little screening here in Australia with some friends. We've organised. Matt from Blue Bantha Milk, Matt and Sean have organised a little screening party, which should be good fun. So we'll get to watch it with our buddies. So I don't know whether I'll have to double check the dates, whether we're waiting for the 2 episodes or doing the 1 or waiting a week, or I don't know. Whatever happens, it'll be a good little get together, so it'll be cool. But oh look, we're going to commit to the Disney Plus year here. We can get it for a year here. I've got a 4-year-old girl, so Disney gets a good one for its money here. So I think. Do you want to know what I'm
most excited about? And this is lame. I mean, besides the new content, but just this sounds so lazy. But I'm just like, I'll be excited to just be able to push a remote, bam, pick my Star Wars movie, go. Because sometimes it's like, ugh, I want to watch Star Wars, but like, I gotta turn on the PlayStation, like boot up the PlayStation. I gotta walk like 2 feet and like dig it out and grab the disc, and it's just like I can't be bothered.
Oh, I've got to lift it up and push it in the thing, and oh my god, it's just I totally get it. I know it's terrible. Like even stuff with like video games, I'm just like, the disc is already in the machine. I'll just play whatever's in the machine. I won't walk over and which is crazy to think that's some kind of inconvenience.
I know.
But
I don't even consider myself a lazy person. It's just like, I just know that the convenience of having it at my fingertips with the remote is going to be. I think I'll be watching a lot more Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's. I was sick a few weeks ago when I was in bed and I watched Solo because the streaming service that we had here in Australia, I had Solo on it. I'm like, well, it's here. I don't have to get up. I don't have to do anything. I could just sit here rather than walk over to the couch and put the movies in, which I've got on DVD and video and Blu-ray already. But yeah. Oh, look, it's going to be a good convenience to have, isn't it, really? Do your boys go for the Disney stuff as well? Do they?
When they were a little younger, we went through a phase. I think we had like a full month where they would have a movie that they were fixated on, and we would just watch it every day or every couple of days for a month. Like Moana, I've probably seen Moana about 30 times. But they haven't really been into a lot of Disney movies lately, but that's another thing I'm excited for, it just to like show them. There's so many they haven't seen, and I want to get them to see Frozen again. So hopefully one or both of them will come see Frozen. They can come around to our house.
They can come around to our house and see. Well, Frozen 2, yeah. Well, I showed Olive, my 4-year-old, Frozen 2 trailer, and to be honest, it looks pretty intense. Like she was a bit like, oh, this is pretty full on. Like it was a lot of peril and a lot of, she's watched Frozen so many times now that she's sort of immune to the peril and stuff in it. But she likes the relationship between Elsa and Anna when they're little, and she likes the songs, obviously, and she likes that Anna has powers. But she was a bit sort of like, oh, cool, more Frozen. But she was very much like, this looks pretty intense. Like it seemed a bit scary. So hopefully it's not going to be too scary for 4-year-olds, because I know Frozen's got a very large fan base, but ultimately there are a lot of little girls who love Frozen. It would be a real shame if she just went, this is too much for me, I can't deal with it. So yeah, we'll see. As long as
yeah, it'll be there for her when she's ready, though. So
yeah. I mean, I don't think it comes out till Christmas here. I think we get it about a month later than the US. So
oh, really? And yet you get the Rise of Skywalker like 2 days before us. So explain that to me.
What's going on with? Yeah, well, we're pirates. We used to get Star Wars well behind everybody else in the world, but for some reason now we get it. I'm just going to double check here for it. Yeah, Boxing Day. So in Australia, Boxing Day, which is 26th. The day after Christmas, is a public holiday, so it's quite a big movies day. So that was traditionally when like the Lord of the Rings movies or the Hobbit movies and all that kind of stuff would come out. So it was a big, so we'll be a little bit behind. So you guys will get Frozen 2 before us. Don't spoil it. No spoilers. Although my theory for Frozen 2 is that that Anna will have fire powers, and they'll discover that.
Oh, that would be cool.
So that'll be the thing where they think it's all, they're all in the peril, and Elsa can't help anymore, or she's been captured and we need a way out, and all of a sudden she's got the fire powers. But anyway, we'll see.
You're saying it's going to be a Song of Fire and Ice?
Oh wow! Oh, copyright someone else. It could be. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't thought about it too much. Not as much as I think about Star Wars theorizing, obviously. Right. But I have watched a fair bit of Frozen.
Yeah, it's a good one to watch. So how many times do you typically see the Star Wars movies in theaters?
It's definitely gone down than what it used to. It's probably usually 3 or 4 now. It used to be like, I think I saw Phantom Menace 9 or 10 times in the cinema, but I was like 20. I was at university. I had nothing but free time. I could just duck down and go see it. It's a lot trickier now. But also, I mean, the window is so short. Like, it's on DVD and Blu-ray like a few months later, so the wait is so much shorter. So it never feels like, oh God, I've got to get as many in as I can, because so I'll try and see it. Yeah, we usually go midnight, and then I'll usually go with Kat a day or two afterwards at a sort of a reasonable hour so she can see it. And then probably go 1 or 2 more times after that. But we'll just see. I mean, if I've got time to duck down and see it and I really like it, I want to see it again, I might try and do more. But it'll just be on time. But it'll be summer holidays, so hopefully I'll have a little bit more time. How about you? Do you have a capped number that you have to do?
So I I know I saw Force Awakens 6 times, and then Rogue One and Last Jedi I saw Rogue One 7 times. Oof. And The Last Jedi 7 times. And the funny thing is, I always I like to see it with people who are seeing it for the first time, because I love to see what they react to, and just then talk to them about it after. But I was deep diving by I think Rogue One I saw with my next door neighbor that I did not know very well, but we were just chatting one day.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, Rogue One."
I'm like, "Yeah, no, and then The Last Jedi, my boss one night was like, "Oh, we're gonna go see The Last Jedi tonight as a family," and I was like, "Oh, really? Can I come too?"
Like, as a family. And I was kind
of joking, but she was like, "Well, if you want to," and I was like, "No, yeah, I'll come if that's fine."
Well, I suppose now you've invited yourself, it's fine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, so I went with her, and I kept asking, does your husband think this is weird? And she's like, no, he's fine. Did you sit right in the middle of them as well, really awkwardly? They've got, yep. I'll sit here in the middle, and everybody has any questions, they can direct them to me. No, that would have been a good idea, but no, I just sat by her, and then I think her son was on the other side of her, and then her husband was probably as far away from me as possible. I was like, "Who is this weirdo again?"
Watching Star Wars.
Yeah, so I enjoy the theater experience because you just never know what's going to happen, and there are a few times I saw The Last Jedi where the audience was super interactive and high energy, and it was just so much fun, and I love it. There was one time we saw the scene after the throne room scene, someone shouted "teamwork" after they killed the last, and I don't know, it was just so fun. I couldn't stop smiling. That's amazing. And I think they shouted something else, it wasn't obnoxious, it was appropriate and super fun, and just made it more fun. I don't know, just people like that, as long as they aren't being annoying, I think it can enhance the whole experience. Yeah, the midnight screenings here we've had for the films that have been put on through the fan club and through Steel Wars podcast as well.
they've always been great screenings because it's just like it's just the right level of enthusiasm but respect for the movie as well. Like people will really cheer and yell at the right time, but as soon as it's like stuff's happening, everyone's like shh, quiet for the right moments. They all laugh at the right time, the jokes, everyone's off their phones, all that kind of stuff. It's like the perfect sort of viewing experience. And I kind of find with anything, the more you go with the general public, it's a bit of a crapshoot, when it's just sort of casual people just going, and they'll just be, people just like, it's just another movie. It's like, shut up, it's Star Wars. Like, get off your phone. What are you doing? But look, I'm, realistically, probably, but the next time we have you on, Jess will be, in a post Rise of Skywalker world, won't it? I mean, we can get you back before then, perhaps, but I would say most likely that it will probably get you back for your reactions.
I'd love to come back.
We'll find out whether you've burnt the house down or not. Whether when you're like, I can't believe they made Rey Darkseid and then just ended the movie.
No, that one.
And I couldn't go see it 9 times because I burnt the cinema to the ground.
And now I'm in prison.
I got
for
what
arson.
I got,
You're
and I
my
still
one
got
phone call.
Yeah, I got what I got, and I still got upset. Yeah, but my one phone call from prison was to be on the podcast.
Yep.
And I did get what I got, and I still got upset, and I did throw a fit, and I burnt the cinema to the ground.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm trying to wrap my head around all the loose ends they have to tie up. I mean, they're introducing all these new characters and like Sith troopers. What's that about? The Knights of Ren. I just feel like there's so much to do, and I don't know how they're going to do it in one movie, but I'm excited.
Yeah, well, we'll know soon. Thanks for coming back on again. I'm looking forward to seeing a big spike in the download numbers here when your neighbours and your work colleagues and your friends and your family and everybody download. And, we get the phone, but get them all to leave a review and leave a 5-star review on iTunes if they could do that too. That'd be really good. And,
I would. I'll do it. I'll work on it.
And then when we do the "You get what you get, you don't get upset" T-shirt, I'll kick you in a few bucks. When you get them all to buy some as well.
Sure.
Maybe it'll just be a photo of you on the front with your thumbs up, going, "You get what you get, and you don't get upset."
But mine or you could do a small batch series for me. That's you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we have to do different continents, local colloquialisms. They're not going to, they're not flying off the shelves in the US because people don't understand the term. So that's very true, actually. This is why we have these production meetings, just to work out the kinks and stuff. But, all right. People want to follow you on the social medias. You do very good work on the social medias. How do they,
Thank you.
How do they find you?
On Twitter, I'm at Darth_Schroeder, spelt Schroeder. So I'll let you figure that out.
I got the pronunciation right this time. Did you notice that?
Yes, very good. On Instagram, I'm Jess_of_course 52, I believe. Jess of course. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. We'll get you back again post Rise of Skywalker to get your thoughts. Okay. Unless, of course, this trailer drops in the next couple of hours.
Oh yeah, in which case I'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you soon. We'll get the live review out. Yeah, well, you can find us at StarWarsSpeltOut.com. It's got links to all our t-shirts. Get yourself a Minnesota Vikings Obi-Wan Kenobi shirt, everybody. The NFL season is on. The most niche shirt ever, but it doesn't matter. Like, get in there. All these people who bought the Chicago Cubs one. So get in there and support those Vikings. Go Vikings!
Yeah,
right?
they need more support. Mostly in their offense, but whatever.
Oh, there you go. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's important. Awesome. Thanks so much, Jess.
Thank you. May the force be with you.
And with you. We'll see you soon.